Hey there guys, the Laughing Jester here. So my goal with this beginner's guide video is for you to learn the key materials of Sony Vegas Pro 15, and by that I mean just the important information for you to start, because I don't want to overwhelm you with too much information right after the start, and the basic functions. Okay, with that being said, let's get started, shall we? So this is what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm gonna break this up into three parts: the plugin panel section, the video preview / master volume panel section, and then the timeline panel section. Okay, first I'm going to grab a video and a picture from my files to use for the example for you guys. We're gonna go to files and then hit open and then look for the type of media you want to use for this project. Or you can hit Ctrl O for a shortcut and it'll do the same thing, guys. There will be also a lot of shortcuts for you to remember to make this a lot easier. And whatever you choose will be down here in the timeline and also in the video preview section. So let's go back to section 1. Starting off with the project media tab, you can arrange all the media you will use in your current project. You can add media, preview it, change the file property, but you hardly ever use this since you can right click any media up timeline and do it that way. Next up, we have the video effects tab. Here you have all sorts of video effects organized in folders for you to use in your clips or pictures. For this example, I'm gonna add the red only effect to my picture. And notice how this window called the video event effects pops up. Here you can do additional work on the effect you're using to be more precisely on what you're looking for. And down here you notice the animate button, which is a little more advanced tinkering you could do, but I'll explain that in another video. Now say you don't like the video effect you pick. Simply click this button and it will take out the effect you're trying to use in your clip. Now there are also other ways to do this. You can also edit, hit undo, or click the arrow back button, or for the shortcut, hit Ctrl Z. Underneath all these effects in your left window, you see all these folders with the same effects you can use as in the all folder all the way on top. So it's already prepared to show you what you can use, or you can even search up for the name of the plugin if you remembered it. Next is the transition window tab. The left panel shows all the available transitions organized in a folder just like the video effects tab. If you hover over the transition, you can get an example of what each one will do to the media in a timeline. Now for my example, I'm gonna use a clockwise soft edge transition and drag it between the clips. And just like the video effects panel, the video event FX window will appear, so you could tinker with it some more later on. Let's see how it came out. Now if you remember, you could hit Ctrl Z to undo anything you don't like. For transitions, you can also drag the clips over for this fadeaway transition as well. Finally, we get to the media generator tab, and in here we got all sorts of plugins, from credit rolls to transparent text, so make sure you take your time and build each one on your own. The legacy text is the one I use the most. As you saw in the beginning of the video, this is how I got the text over the background picture. So if I drag this plugin and take it to the timeline, the video media generator window will pop out. Here you can write whatever you want in the text. Pick a size, font, placements, properties, which you can also pick colors, and lastly, the effects. There is also an animate button in the bottom. So I'm going to go back to edit and write hello YouTube. Okay, close the window. Now you will want to put it over any clip. If you did the opposite, then the text will be behind your clip. Oh, and I know most of you guys will have the Windows Explorer tab as well, but it's just like the Project Media tab. I just simply closed it to make more space. Now onto section 2. The first one is the video project properties. It's just to adjust the video format of your project, but we'll discuss that more in another video. Video preview just lets you watch your preview in full screen mode. Video output effects applies to your whole video, which means all your clips instead of the ones you choose. Split screen view just lets you see the before and after the effects you placed in your clips. Preview quality all depends on how good your computer is, so if you're watching your preview and it's lagging, then you might want to turn it down a bit. Overlays, you don't really have to worry about this. Copy snapshot to clipboard and save snapshot to files are self-explanatory. The master volume shows you the level of audio your video will be. You can mess around with it, but be careful how you place the bar. There's also a project properties for the audio and a effects buttons, but you don't gotta worry about any of these for now. Underneath the video preview are your playback buttons. The red mic is your mic recording only. You get more options if you hit the 3 stripes here and go into edit visible button set and picking which one you want. Here explains your project properties for your video, as well as what properties you are watching in your preview video. The frames are something you'll need to get familiar with. Every second is a frame, so for more advanced precision moments, you'll need to go frame by frame. And the display is the size of the preview video. Now we finally get to section 3, the timeline. So down here we also got a lot of playback buttons. Starting from the first button is the red mic recording button. Next is the loop back button, and what that does is that you can select a part of your timeline to infinitely loop back to whatever you highlighted until you press the stop button or the loop button again. Then we got play, pause, stop, go to start, which literally makes you go to the beginning of the timeline instead of scrolling all the way there. Then we got the end button, previous, and next frame buttons for those exact precise moments I told you about earlier. Normal editing tool makes your mouse cursor do whatever it wants in Sony Vegas pretty much. Envelop editing tool is if you're using velocity, and I'll explain that in another video. The selection editing tool is a lightsaber. Makes you highlight a certain area that you can move everything together instead of moving one by one. The zoom editing tool makes you zoom in the timeline, but you also got the plus and minus buttons in the corner, and also you can use your mouse wheel. This is great for frame work as well. Then we got the delete button. Then the trim forward and backwards button. Pretty much wherever you have the big line, which shows you where you are in the timeline by the way, you can delete everything in front of it or behind it. Personally, I like to click and drag for trimming. Split is another handy tool. You can split a certain part of the clip that you don't want to use and then delete the other part you don't need. Shortcut is literally just pressing S. Locky bend button just makes you not able to move a clip once you press that button on it. So it will stay in one place, but you can still use plugins in it. Marker tool is also handy, especially for those long videos. You can mark a certain spot when you want to edit, or whatever else you may need, name it, and it will stay there till you delete it off. The shortcut is M. Insert region is just a big section that you can name, so instead of marking one spot, you can get a big region to name. Enable snapping is a handy tool as well. So the big line where it tells you where you are in the timeline, whenever a clip passes through it, it will glow, telling you about that certain spot. And it will help you not overlap another clip between it. Because if you take it off, then it won't glow and you can easily make the mistake and overlap another film, creating a transition. The automatic crossfade is when you overlap 2 clips and it creates that transition of a fade, remember? So if you take it off, then it won't be able to do that no more, so the fade will be gone. The rest of the 3 buttons you don't gotta worry about for now. So there is one more thing I want to show you guys before I wrap this video up. So if you go to options, preferences, under display it should appear this page with the interface type. This is if you don't like the black theme of Sony Vegas Pro 15, you could change it to another color. After you pick the one you like, hit apply and then OK. It should make you restart your Sony Vegas and then it should be as good as new. With that being said, I want to thank everyone who watched this video. Hope they helped you a lot. I hope I didn't have too much information to beginners. And as always, this is Joker reminding you to laugh, but question the world.